France is heading to Eurovision 2024 with Slimane and Mon Amour. But do we amour this one? Let's review Eurovision. So France is heading to Malmo this year with Mon amour. It's a ballad. It's quite different to last year's entry, I would say. Jack, what are your thoughts?
Oh, okay. Buckle up. So, when they announced that Slimane was going to be going to Eurovision, I was very, very excited because Slimane is one of the biggest stars in France. He is huge, and it is a big vote of confidence that the French broadcaster and in French artists that they want to be sending something this serious, this hefty to the competition. So I was like, okay, this is going to be good. And then they dropped the song in like November, which is the earliest song drop I can remember. It's ridiculous. And I kind of think, why the rush? Because the song itself is not actually very good. And an act like Slimane, who is very, very talented, he's got a beautiful voice. I kind of think it's been thrown away on this. If you watch, and again, I'm a big fan of Slimane. If you listen to, he did a project a few years ago with another French singer called Vita, and they did a few albums. It was sort of really that it had quite ethnic influences. There's one song in particular called Fait comme ça. It's got like Spanish guitar in it. It's him and Vita. And there's so much natural just flavor in his voice. It's really rich. It's exotic. He's got a lovely, lovely voice. That's what they should have sent. A song like that that shows off a bit of personality. This is so bland. Anybody could sing this. It's uninspired. The lyrics are things that we've heard thousands of times before. It's him just whinging about how, oh, I love you, but do you love me back? Please come back. Like we genuinely have heard the song about 80,000 times, and it's just there's nothing remarkable about it. The only thing that it's got going for it is that he sings it well. But even that is now starting to piss me off. Like when he's doing all of these performances at national finals and he's doing this like utter wanking of like standing 2 meters behind the microphone and just singing. Like if you're going to wank, don't wank in front of me. Just do it. This is not a song that is there to be considered a good song. It's
like Barbara Pravi could get away with being so far from the mic because it's a song that is kind of wow. Whereas,
no, it's just. But if you're going to, it almost strikes me that the reason why he feels he's having to do this is twofold. It's that they've announced the song so early that people have got bored of it already, and he must be bored of singing it. Surely I'm bored of listening to it. But also that I think there's an awareness that the song itself is not giving, and there's not enough there to take it over the line. And what he is confusing with being able to sing very well, he's confusing that with emotion and being able to, perform it. And what this is very much not is voila. It's trying to be like this year's voila. And voila it's meaningful, it's impactful, it's very personal. The lyrics are just beautiful. This is bland. It is honestly, and I'm gonna go as far as saying that with the exception of what was their 2015 song, the one with the soldiers and the war?
uh, miss? No.
No, it was I can't remember the one the 2015 song. Other than that, I think this is probably the worst French entry of the last 10 years. It's very, very disappointing. And yeah, I'm not a fan.
I think my feelings probably aren't quite as strong as yours. I'm very
They
much
really
on
are, to be fair. I would go to the extreme.
you do. It's another ballad. It doesn't get me excited. For me it's kind of comparable to Marco Italy from last year. It's just kind of yeah, but I wasn't a fan of that.
I
Not
wasn't either. Again, we'll get to Italy later. I wasn't a fan before Eurovision. It's only at Eurovision that I got it, and I think that's quite an unfair comparison, frankly. But anyway.
I still didn't get it even at Eurovision. Yeah, for me this is just kind of his voice is kind of wasted on it because you can see that you can hear the kind of skill that he has in his voice, and the song just doesn't really kind of go anywhere. It's nothing. Yeah. when you get to the chorus and it's literally just kind of like howling out dialogue, it's like there's nothing unique or special about it. The only thing I would say is that it does actually, because there are so many of the kind of more frantic, kind of slightly tongue-in-cheek entries this year, it might actually then stand out more because it's actually a proper kind of change of pace. It just doesn't at all. It's very bland, and the releasing it way back in November was bizarre. But
You know,
yeah,
I was going to say, I think it probably my assumption for why they did it back in November was because France was hosting Junior Eurovision. And I was half expecting them to sort of debut, do the first performance of it there, and then it just didn't happen. So I genuinely do not understand why they released it that early, because any momentum that it did have has gone, and people now are starting to hate it. When really, if they'd released it at a normal time, this level of hate would have arrived just after Eurovision, time-wise. So it's completely unnecessary.
yeah, very strange. As one of the big five, doesn't take part in the semi-finals, goes straight through to the final. So how do you think it'll do in the final, and what is your personal ranking?
So my personal score out of 10 is going to be a 3. Yeah, I'm really not a fan. It's just, I mean, he sings it well, and that is the but I just don't care about it enough for that to actually make any difference. It's so bland. It's so paint by numbers. Anybody could sing this. Literally anybody could sing this. I mean, I can't sing, so I couldn't sing. But
Yeah,
anybody,
we just sit here, we throw stones from the sidelines.
you know, glass houses and all that. I couldn't sing it, but anybody who can sing this. It's the sort of just, again, I've said this about 7 times now. It's just so bland. It's remarkably unremarkable. And it's just disappointing. So I'm only going to give it a 3. How will it do? I think you're right that because there are so many loud entries this year, there's not actually that many ballads this year. So it might stand out with the juries for that, and it might, you know, I can see it sort of coming top 3, top 5 with the juries. But I just don't see why people would vote for this. And I'm trying to think of a comparison of like a song doing very well, a ballad doing very well with the juries, and then bombing with the televote, and not one isn't coming to mind. Because I was going to compare it to Cesar Sampson in 2018, but even then his televote score was higher than I think this will be. He got 70, and I think this will be lucky to hit 40. So I can't think of another example. I just don't see what there is to vote for here. Other than technically it's very strong, and I don't think ordinary people having their Eurovision party care enough about how well it's performed. So I think it will be a sort of bottom of the left-hand side of the scoreboard. It might crack the top 10, but it doesn't deserve to at all.
Yeah, I'm thinking kind of, yeah, bottom of the left-hand side of the board, kind of trying to do the maths of where the cutoff will be. It's kind of 12th, 13th is where I reckon it'll probably end up. My personal ranking, giving it 5. Don't hate it as much as you.
It's not that much more optimistic, to be fair. 3%.
No, I'm very neutral on it.
Yeah.
Kind of it washes over me, and then I don't think about it again until it crops back up. But yeah.
Well, so we're not a huge fan of it then, but do let us know what you think. The comments are open. If you like this video, thank you again, Brett. Let me try that again. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this and want to see more of our reviews, this is only the second of 30 something that we're doing this year. So do like and subscribe as well. We're also in podcast form, so you can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Subscribe and give us a review there as well. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.